school.
And how long had you known Ms. ZIYAH for?
Since first grade.
So, and what grade was she in?
Grade.
8th grade.
On the 9th.
8th.
So you've known her roughly for 7 years?
Yes.
Okay. You said you're a substitute teacher at J.E. Clark. How do you get assigned to different classrooms?
If the teacher is absent or if they on prep, then I go to their classroom.
And were you in Ms. ZIYAH's class on January 9th?
Yes.
And were you in Ms. ZIYAH's class on January 10th?
No.
Sorry, were you the teacher assigned to Ms. ZIYAH's class on the 10th?
No.
Okay. Who was that teacher?
I don't know.
But you were on the 9th?
Yes.
And on the 9th, was Ms. ZIYAH present in that classroom?
Yes.
And do you remember, if you remember, what she was wearing?
I think she had a plaid jacket on and some blue jeans.
Plaid jacket.
It was like a winter jacket, but it was like plaid.
What she had on the bus, I'm assuming, but it wasn't plaid.
This exhibit 12. Do you recognize that photo, man?
Yes, that's all it.
And that's Ms. ZIYAH?
Yes.
And do you recognize when that photo's from?
No.
Okay. As part of your, if you are going to be a substitute teacher, do you have to take attendance for class?
Yes.
And did you do that on January 9th?
Yes.
And is there a form that you fill out or handwrite in or take in?
Yes.
Do you recognize that document, Ms. Lee?
Yes.
And is that an attendance document from
Yes.
J.E. Clark?
Yes.
And is that for Ms. ZIYAH's class?
Yes.
And does that include the dates from the 8th to the 12th of January 2024?
Yes.
Move to admit he was proposed 31.
Any objection? No objection. It would be admitted as speaking to exhibit 31.
And on that document, does it say that Ms. ZIYAH was present on January 9th?
Yes.
And how is that noted on that form?
A B.
Okay, and that stands for present?
Yes.
And does it say she was present on the 10th?
Yes.
It does say she was present.
Yes.
Was, to your knowledge, she present on the 10th?
No.
How do you know that?
Because me and Desire are together every day. She comes to my room to get snacks, and she was not there on the 10th.
So you're 100% that she was.
100%.
Why would they mark her there? Just as clear as day. And who did that? That makes no sense to me. How do you accidentally mark somebody present that wasn't there?
25 years.
No, I was in the store for 25, for like 4 years. I've been in the field for 25 years.
Okay, so what are the rules before you were to start?
My J, school facilitator, a parent educator.
Okay. But you referenced seeing ZIYAH almost daily?
Yes.
Okay, so even though you're a sub, you're always present.
Oh yeah, I'm always in the building.
Okay, and she comes to see you every day?
She said she was always in the building and she come and see her every day.
What are those interactions usually like?
Most of the time, me and Desire, she comes to pick up her breakfast. We talk in the hallway for a few minutes. She go to class, then at lunchtime we see each other again because I have a snack bar in my room. And she usually come in there and gets the snacks off the bar.
Okay, so when you say pick up her breakfast, is that part of your role?
No, that's not part of my role. That's in school. They have some breakfast sitting in the hallway and they just pick their breakfast.
Okay, but she stops by to see.
Yes, she stops by.
Okay, and did she do that on the 9th?
Yes.
You're not regularly getting up to the 9th?
No. Because I think her teacher was there. Mr. Smith, I think he was there that day.
Okay, do you have an idea how often?
Mr. Smith is her teacher, huh? She thinks Mr. Smith was there that day. Did anybody put Mr. Smith in and ask him why he marked her
Do you
present?
that specific class that year?
Whenever Mr. Smith wasn't here, I don't know, maybe once a week.
Okay, so it sounds like the school, maybe they don't use lots of different subs, or is it always you or he's out?
No, we have subs that come in, but I'm what they call a building sub, and I'm just placing that building. Okay. But like if there's 5 teachers out there, we might have to have subs.
Okay. So there could be subs other than you in that class,
Yes.
but you were there somewhere.
Yes.
So you got to know Desire pretty well between. And did you find that she was acting at all unusual that day?
On that night she came in, she was acting very unusual because she usually just eat. I gave her an assignment, she did her assignment, she laid on the floor, which made me really suspect because she never does anything like that. And she said, Miss Lee, I need to go see the counselor. And I told her after we eat breakfast, I see if the counselor is there. But the council never came up this year.
Do that make sense? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. After we eat, I'm gonna see if the counselor is there, but she never came up. Well, how did you notify the counselor, ma'am?
So does that mean that you told the counselor about the observations you made?
No, I've never seen the counselor because she never came up to see us. I guess she wasn't in the building that
I
day.
guess she wasn't in the building. I never seen her because she never came up to see us. I guess she wasn't in the building that day. How about call her? How about go to her office? How about having ZIYAH go to the office? I mean, no efforts really. This is why the judge said what she said.
Okay, does that mean you tried to ask her to come see her?
Yeah, I asked the security guard if the counselor come in because she sent her to my room, but she never came in.
How about maybe the security guard never told anybody?
Okay, so just the security guard.
Yeah,
Did you tell anyone about what you'd seen other than the security guard?
no.
Oh, y'all hear that? No one else was told. No, nothing was done. Let's just carry on like that didn't happen. But what don't make sense is the picture that we seeing that she took in school if she was having such a bad day. It just nothing makes sense. Like all of the adults' behavior is off. Now, this teacher said she been knowing her since she was in the 2nd grade and she in the 8th grade and she's with her every day. She didn't notice she was pregnant either. She didn't notice. I noticed she noticed that she had on a coat that was plaid that wasn't supposed to be plaid. We wasn't told she had on a plaid coat. She had on a colorful coat. We got so many different descriptions of her coat. And then we got a woman walking down the street that don't have on
And
that
then
coat.
I know you didn't sub the next day, but you were present in the building on the 10th.
Yes,
Did you have any interaction with the police on the 10th?
I can't remember. On that 10th, I can't remember.
Did the police ever interview you related to this case?
They came in and they didn't interview me. They just, I think it was Officer Jackson. That's the only person supposed to be.
Do you know when that was?
I can't give you a date, but it was like in, I want to say October.
October.
Okay, October of this past year, 2024.
Yeah, 24.
And that was the first time.
Yes.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Why is it ridiculous? Because that should have been the first person they talked to. The teacher that taught her the day that she went missing. And they ain't talked to her to October.
Okay, and the only time.
Until I got this
They
opinion.
failed her.
Until-
Everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're saying it wasn't really an interview? Well,
No, it wasn't an interview. She just told me that I would have to come to court. That's all she said. She didn't even know anything.
Dang.
just to let you know.
Yeah.
Just told her she go. What? They never interviewed her.
Okay.
Dang. That's insane.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. You said in October-ish of last year, 24, an Officer Jackson talked to you.
Yeah.
Do you know, does Officer Jackson work for the Detroit Public School Department or Detroit Police?
I think Detroit Police Department.
She think.
And that was the first time you were contacted?
Ridiculous. Y'all hear that? She was totally, completely failed by everyone. Naziah Harris's lunch lady would see her every day at breakfast and lunch, and Naziah would give hugs. And Naziah just sounds like she had a lot of personality. Here's what the lunch lady had to say the last day, her last encounter with Naziah Harris.
Well, she was every day she would give hugs and would come in, and she didn't look like herself. So I asked her what was wrong. She said nothing. So I'm thinking it's just a typical day of a child getting in trouble or something because they come to school. And that was the last time I saw her. And I've been really worried about her. I've been praying for her safety. So I don't know what's going on with the situation, but that's the last encounter I had with her.
Did you hear anything about a fight that allegedly happened between her and a girl where there was a note or whatnot?
No, I didn't hear anything about it because when they get out of school, I'm still in the back. So I don't know when they leave out that door, I actually don't know what they be doing. But I haven't heard anything about a fight. She could have had, but I haven't heard anything about it.
Right, but you said she was off that last day though. She wasn't her normal self when you spoke to her. She wasn't.
No, she wasn't.
Now, did you ever hear anything about abuse in the house or nothing? She was just a normal girl to you, huh?
Yeah, she was just a normal girl to me every day because she would come and talk every day. So I never noticed nothing about what was going on. Wouldn't know because she didn't seem like it.
She hid it well.
Come in and play, play with the kids and interact, act with the kids and all that. They, she didn't act like there was nothing going on abuse in that house.
I got people in the comments wanting to know, did it appear that she looked pregnant the last time you seen her?
You know what? That's a good question because I really didn't notice her on that level because I really never paid attention to her like that. I will only see her when she get her breakfast, she go to class, and when she get her lunch. But I've never really paid attention to that. And that's the guys out of the truth. I never, because she looked like she was just a regular girl, came to school every day, so I couldn't tell. Unless she hid it, I don't know. But I never really noticed it.
And the face that you described, you said she had this look on her face. If you could describe it, what was the look? What would it look like?
Like an upset look. Just a weird upset look. But all I'm doing is just praying for her and would like hopefully that she come back because it's just been a long ride. No one's saying anything. No kids are saying anything or nothing. Nobody's speaking on it.
Now the reason I guess we was asking that because we heard something, I don't know if it's another lunch lady or what, but we was hearing something about the lunch lady was hearing that the school kids were saying that she was allegedly going to run away because she was pregnant. Now again, I don't know if there's, if you're the only lunch lady there, or if it's, somebody else in the staff that they was mixing that up with, but that was something else to be heard coming from out of the nucleus of the school. So
I don't know. They may have. I don't know. They may have. Yeah, so I'm just pray for her, Hope she come back safely. I hope there's nothing wrong or anything with her because it's been, like I said, a long ride. And I love kids, so I worry about her because I have a daughter and a granddaughter of my own, a 37-year-old daughter and a 20-year-old granddaughter. So I totally understand. I've never had to experience that, but I never had to experience that, but I can just imagine what the family is feeling like.
Is there someone in the school that you know of that you may have, like an administrator, have seen maybe she's been comfortable with or anything like that? Like, is the school putting up any flyers or offering support to the other students when you're concerned?
Well, I guess the kids probably see it because it's all over Facebook. So I'm not for sure about, if she was comfortable with them, talk to her. Because like I said, the only time I seen her really was at breakfast and lunch. And sometimes I see her walking up the hallway, but that was it. That's the only time I saw her. Now, as far as the classroom and anywhere else that goes on in there, I couldn't tell you. Say it with the teachers or anybody. Right, but like I said, I'm praying for her.
It just seems so hard to believe that people that saw and hugged her every day, seen her face every day, missed everything. I mean, we could see from where we're sitting at, where we're looking at the pictures of her dancing and the visual of the last videos that she was taking. You could clearly see. Now, I could definitely give them that she probably seemed like a normal child just based off of the videos that we could see. She had the smile on her face. She was singing. You could clearly, if they even paid attention to her there, they would have noticed with the songs and things that she was singing. So we've heard from the substitute teacher who said ZIYAH laid on the floor and asked to talk to a counselor who never came up to talk to her. And now we have the lunch lady who says she hugged her every day and would see her every day for breakfast and lunch, but didn't notice anything. And shout out to Mark DeAndre and his team over at 7 Mile Radio for doing this interview. It was a phone call last year. So shout out to everybody in the building. I'm changing it up a little bit because I see we have some questions in the chat, and I really was just planning on just recapping from what we had. But shout out to Daquan, shout out to JoJo, shout out to everybody in the building. But I wanted to address this because I'm a little confused on the two. Okay, so the two videos that I just played. The first one was the teacher that day, and that was her testimony in court. The second lady I just played was the lady that called in to Mark DeAndre, and I mean, I actually did that video maybe 5 months ago, and it was a long time ago that he did it, but I'm confused on if that is the same person. Yes, they sound totally different. I know the lady that testified, her name was Miss Lee. The lady that called in, I'm not sure if that's Miss Lee or not, because they sound totally different. But the lady that testified is a teacher and a lunch lady, right? She said that she see her every day. I mean, like the lunch lady also has like snacks that Naziah literally sees this lady every day. So my question is, are those the same people? Right? It could be, because I didn't hear a teacher and a lunch lady testimony, and maybe it'll happen when the trial come up. I don't know. I'm thinking that these two ladies are the same. I'm thinking these two ladies are the same people, because what they're saying is similar. Nobody prior to that lady that called into Toot's show ever said from that school that Naziah was pregnant, and everybody knew it. I don't know who that lady is. I don't know if she really works at the school. I don't know. I have no way of proving that that lady really is who she says she is. And she is the one that said all of that stuff. I'm not going by any of that stuff, y'all. And I'm not discrediting anybody. I'm just saying what I'm going by is what the testimony that we heard from Miss Lee. And the lady that Mark D talked to, I have been like going by what she's saying too. I think they the same person, but I'm really not sure about that. So I believe that you guys are getting confused by that lady that got on and that called into Toot's show. I don't know who she is, y'all. I don't. Nobody ever said Naziah was pregnant, and they knew that she was pregnant from that school prior to that. So I just want to make that clear. Okay. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Them people in the D ain't right. Something in the water. I'm talking about, and it's not even just in the D. It's like everywhere. Yes, they voices are different. They are, but you know how people try to change it up and be professional on the stand and stuff like that. So I'm thinking it could have been that, or it could have been two different people. I don't know. I'm just saying that is something that I'm confused about, y'all. But that lady that called in, man, I don't know who that lady is. Miss V is another school stuff. She said the whole school knew that Naziah was pregnant, and the grandma knew too. Okay, yeah, you talking about the lady that called in, right, JoJo? If she was wearing big clothes, it's possible. Oh, I believe that she was pregnant, but nobody from the school that I have been reporting since we've been talking about this case admitted that. That's what I'm saying. I believe she was pregnant because we see it. We see that with our own eyes. The coat she had on when she had that coat on, and we could tell her face was pregnant. She had the hood on. We could tell in that video when she was dancing with her cousin, and it was said that that picture was taken the day before she went missing. I feel you, Miss V. Can't believe everything you hear, but that school covering they own butts, honestly. Oh my God. Oh, heck yeah. I feel like, man, everybody is involved because, and everything is alleged, right? But everything that we looking at is like impossible for everybody to miss this stuff. You know, it's impossible. And it's impossible. Like they said, both the teacher and the lunch lady said Naziah was off that day. She wasn't herself that day. The teacher said she wanted to speak with the counselor. So, and I want to point out, she never said she was in pain. That's something that people added. So I'm like, that is my purpose for recapping and constantly putting out the information, because it get lost along the way. And I don't believe everything I hear, but I'm going by what the courts is saying. And also, you know, we entertain a little bit based off of the evidence over here. But that lady that called in, y'all, I'm not going by that, period, at all. I don't know who that lady was. You right, she never said that. No. And so I changed up what I was doing because my intentions was to just, you know, do the recap of what I was recapping. But I wanted to just come in and clear that up, y'all. I don't want nobody to be confused. It is confusing enough, and some people you know, don't get me mixed up with the other confusion, because I stick to the facts. But we do entertain things per evidence, and you know, we listen to other things, but we follow the facts, y'all. Think about it, Miss V. It's not unusual nowadays to see someone that young pregnant. Oh yeah, it's not. But with all of this stuff in court now, you would think that they will have testimony from the school's staff saying that they knew that she was pregnant. And ain't nobody said that yet, you know, with the preliminary hearing and everything that's been out. Now, when a trial come up, that's something different. And so, well, Jarvis got court this morning. Right now, actually at 8. Now that's right. Somebody said something to me, and I was like, I'm gonna look into it. So let me look into that. But see, they didn't. I seen that when they canceled, when they rescheduled his case conference that was supposed to be for June 20th. I see that he had an arraignment. He had an arraignment for the new charges that happened in 2013. So I'm no longer confused if there's new charges or not, because I read a few articles that said there are new charges. And also, I mean, looking at his documents is still confusing, so I still got to look at that part, but it is new charges because they clearly saying it is from 2013. But I did notice some things with that. I noticed that he has a pattern, and this is what I have here, just looking at the different victims that he has had. Those are the ones that I was thinking, well, dang, are they confusing it with these victims that we already know about, right? But what it is like, so his pattern is like, you see that April 12th to August. Wait till it come back around. I'm saying August, but it's April to April. So 2 years he do this, April to April, and then it's July to July. July 15th through 17th, and then April 12th through April 2012 through 2014. Now the new charges then slipped in from 2013, right there in the middle of while he was doing that. Right there in the middle, when he was April 2012 and April 2014, he got in there in 2013 with some new people. And at the same time, his child was born. And when she was 6 months old, he got pulled over by the police. This was after he just got out of prison. He fresh out of prison with a 6-month-old baby, and they didn't arrest him at that point. They failed ZIYAH. Quite obviously, her parents failed her first, and everybody in the household later, you know. But this dude is sick. And at the same time, he was dealing with multiple women. Talk about community D. And so I'm looking at the news now. I mean, like, I'm looking to see if it's, of course, they ain't saying nothing. They didn't say nothing right away about the stuff that we found about the arraignment and all that stuff. I think people put up his official documents to see that. But since we talking about it, I will read the latest article that was put out. CBS News. It says Detroit band charged. Hold on. This is from July 2nd, 2025. And it says Jarvis Butts, a suspect in the ZIYAH Harris case, is also charged in connection with a 2013 essay of a girl when she was 12 years old, according to the Wayne County prosecutor's office. Butts, 42, of Detroit, is facing first-degree essay of a person aged 13 and third-degree criminal essay